So I did an interview with Beverly Scow for my infographic. She is the assistant director of Wise Women Gathering Place, and I chose her because she works at a nonprofit organization, which I think is a very interesting part of the business spectrum. And she is a very much busy person with a very wide skill set. She has to do a lot of different things, including grant writing, dealing with finances, hiring, firing people, overlooking really anything that Wise Women Gathering Places does. And they do a wide range of things. She's in the picture on the left. They work with youth, they work with domestic violence victims, sexual assault, they deal with historical trauma, even like goals and planning, stuff like that. So for my infographic, I made an intro. So communication methods in a nonprofit was the title. So at a nonprofit organization, there are a variety of things that will come up. Efficient communication is extremely important in especially a culturally aware and fast-paced environment. So there are 4 key modes of communication that tie into every aspect as a director. So the 4 key modes I found in this interview were online communication, face-to-face, workshops and presentations, and advertisements. So the first big one we came across was online stuff. So with social media, on her personal account, she just has to be smart about what she posts because everything that she does online will reflect on Wise Women Gathering Place. And she just has to be careful with who she friends, and she says it's smart to have a private account. Um, Along with that, with the organization level, getting community members to share workshops and information about Wise Women was very helpful because when people that came into their place for workshops or for help had positive experiences and started sharing about Wise Women, and so new people started coming in. So it was actually very effective for getting new people to come. She also talked about Wise Women having an updated organization page with private subgroups were great for targeting specific groups with specific information. So an example would be White Bison, which is a program they do, and people who go through that program will go on this private Facebook page. And so when they have new events, new updates, new information, they can go specifically to the groups where that information will pertain to them. And it has been very efficient and with their energy and time, and has gotten more people to be more updated. We also talked about websites and emails. She said for the website for Wise Women Gathering Place, having links for everything and just keeping it updated as much as possible was very important. We needed the information to be accurate because misinformation would be very hard and turn people away from Wise Women. And just having links, especially for applications and signing up for workshops, has been very efficient, and it's just a lot easier for people to access it. She also said that being very organized and tech updated on their website is important. She found that having interns focusing on that has been good because they have a wider skill set with the tech and online world since they're more recently in college, and it's been a couple decades for Beverly, so it's easier for the interns to do that actually. So for emails, this was a very important thing for Bev. Main form of communication for people outside of the office was with emails, which is a lot of different people for a lot of different reasons. She said that they always had to be very professional and clearly precise, so giving as much information as possible, but making it also short as possible at the same time, just so that they're clear and that the communication gets through. She said it was crucial to check often and reply sooner than later with the emails. So this can be very time consuming and can take up a lot of her energy because it takes a lot of focus, and just finding the information to reply to those emails could take a lot. So she actually has to take out a good chunk of her day specifically for emails, just so that she can keep other people informed and she can stay informed. It just takes a lot. So this was her least favorite method, but important. Her favorite method was face-to-face. So I learned a lot in this section. She talked about nonviolent communication, which helps with confrontation. So if you want to confront somebody, this is a great way to do it in a good way without putting blame on them, using I statements. So when I see this happening, I feel this way, I need this, and I request that this happens. So it takes that blame off the other person, and they don't have to feel so defensive, and they will listen to you better and kind of understand where you're coming from. So she says this is very important, especially for being assertive, but in a good way. And she also talked about remembering to be warm and welcoming to anyone that walks through that door, because you don't know what they're going through. But she also has to be very assertive and straightforward, especially when she does business, because she is the assistant director and just sometimes things need to get done and it's efficient and you just have to be assertive. They also do constructive listening exercises, which is great for their staff meetings. So everyone finds a partner and talks for 2 minutes about literally anything that they want to talk about. And the other person listens for those 2 minutes without saying anything. They can't nod, they can't gesture, they just listen. And this is a great exercise before their staff meeting, so everyone is in a listening and sharing mindset, and it's really great, she's found. So workshops and presentations, she talked about top facilitation, which is technology of participation. So she said that this specific facilitation makes workshops interactive and utilizes more unheard voices, which is great for collaboration and projects, because some people are very wise but just don't use their voice as much. Which also goes into the inclusive of diverse learning styles. This is very effective in getting participation and getting everyone to have a deeper understanding of the content. So making sure that this information is accessible to everybody. They do a very wide variety of things in their workshops and presentations, just so people can understand it better and it's more fair for everyone in the room, because everybody can take in the information in different ways, so they understand it at a deeper level, kind of like what I said. She also said that Prezi was a very useful tool and helps her with her improving her presentations, and just being updated on new tech stuff is very important for workshops and presentations. And the last ones are advertisements. That was the last method. Just making sure that they're accessible, so having brochures, applications, business cards, easily accessible, very close by, in various places and methods, so either on paper, online. So she might go to an event and bring her business cards, just so that people can have the information with them and take it with them so they don't forget. She said making brochures and making sure that they're updated and having impactful visuals is very efficient for their advertisements. And then also the summaries are very crucial for everything that they do in their advertisements, making sure that they're very accurate and they go along with the guidelines and the requirements of their grants is very, very important, because following those grants is very important for their funding as a nonprofit organization, because if their advertisement is worded wrongly, it could reflect badly and their grants could pull away from them. So she said this is very, very important to just be accurate and good with their summaries. And so what I learned through making the infographics is how much color and font makes a difference. I knew that a little bit, but I really understood better when I had to make my own thing with different colors. Creating something that doesn't have a set structure was different for me. Usually with essays or like PowerPoints, there's like a basic structure, but with an infographic, it's just all about your own creativity, and you can do it however you need to do it to get your information across. So I also learned how much time it takes to use a new and different program like PictoChart. It was something that was very different for me for being creative and moving things along where it looks nicer. But it was a very new experience for me and I kind of enjoyed it. So that is some stuff that I learned through making the infographic.